Hey yo.
Let's get ready to crumble!
Loser! Oh, hush up! Oh, hush up!
I do not have a good setup for this at all. Alright. You think so? I don't think so. I already forgot where I left off. Like I was messing with this earlier on in the day. It's tedious, and if you get some streaming out on this, it'll make it a little more bearable, but now I don't know where I left off. So, cool. We're gonna figure that out together, I guess. At the 200, so that goes. Okay. See what's happening here. Oh, that's what you're talking about. Yeah, I might. This thing streams real good. Not having to put up with none of that laggy business. None that I have seen yet. Say that like it's saying much. I've only streamed all of 3 times. 2, 3, something like that. Does this crash the game? This does not crash the game. Cool. What up? Randy might do stuff. You ain't missed nothing yet. I'm just figuring out where I left off. You guys probably can't tell what's happening. What's happening is... Hold on, let me pull this up or turn down desktop audio right here because it's a little loud, but where'd it go? Yeah. Okay. Ready to join the party. So. What we're doing here is, you see this tongue move, this tossing his tongue out and hitting the snowman with right here? We're trying to take that attack and put it into this thing. It is not there yet. We gotta put it there. how we do that, I'm still figuring out. First off, where are the sprites for the tongue attack? Okay. Group 46 right there. I think you've heard of this game, and I think you can make Pokemon and other stuff. Make Pokemon and other stuff, like what this is, what MUGEN is like, you know, I don't know, it's an open source, like, engine, I guess you could say, kind of like, Unreal Engine or something like that. But what people do with it often is make separate fighting game, character stages, music, whatever, toss them up online for people to grab and use in their own sort of fighting game project deal going on, and that's what we're doing here with this blob guy, right? Once we get this blob guy done, he'll be accessible in, I don't know, a Street Fighter Mugen clone, a Mortal Kombat Mugen clone, MUGEN, whatever it's called. I don't know how to say it. It's an abbreviation for something, but nobody knows what that is either. So, anyways, what was I doing? Looking for. Looking for an attack. Yeah, this is it. And that. Alright, cool. No, I did not design this blob myself. I screen ripped all those sprites from this game right here. And that's why this is a reverse engineering stream, right? It's because we're remaking everything from this game into this other game, right? So, anyways, and what this guy right here is another guy from this same game that somebody else also ported to this MUGEN engine a long time ago, and I'm stealing all of his scripts and building on top of them because I'm not a programmer, and it's just way easier to do it like that. A lot more efficient, I guess. Maybe not efficient, but anyways, M46. all these blue rectangles right here are his, and the red rectangles are his hit boxes and hurt boxes, if you know what those are, by the way. So if you don't know what those are, it tells you what part of him is sending the damage out and what part is taking it in. But we're not doing any of that right now, so that's going to be all messed up in this demo. I'll do all that later. Anyways, we got the move down pat, and now we got $45, and we were on, what were we on, 200. Okay, so begin action numbers, this is going to be 205. Doesn't have to be 205, but it's just convenient for it to be 205. But yeah, where do we go from here? Go back to the 45. Go back. 45? Yeah, okay. We want to change that to 205. Then go in this mess, find all the 425s. This. That's peculiar. Game crash? No? What'd I do? Huh. Alright, so what are we doing? There's 205. This might crash, maybe. It doesn't. Okay, well, we got part of it done. We made room for the attack. Now we just have to get the attack to play. Hitbox and health box part. Ah, you didn't miss anything. I was just elaborating that. I haven't set any of them up yet, so when you're watching the gameplay, it's probably going to be all out of whack. Like maybe he'll throw out a punch and it'll hit him from forever away. Using this as an example right here, his hammer attack. Look how far out he is and it hits him. That's what I'm talking about. it's all broken right now, but that will be fixed in due time. Alright, so $45. The only thing where's the 200 at? State def. State def 200. Alright, now we are somewhere. Possibly somewhere. I've gotten ideas to what to do here about this. The only problem is I don't know where to find it. I have to go look for it now. And that's gonna take a minute, maybe, probably. Alright, close to 255. So we go back here. Find the 255. Copy all this mess right here. And go back to the 200. Go back to the state def 200. There we are. And let's see what we can and can't do with this mess. Let's make that 205. 205. Clay Fighter 63 and it's Clay Fighter 63 and a third. You're close though. But yeah, we clay fighting in here. Hey, check it out. It works too. Animation's off, but we out here. Hope y'all was taking notes, cause I ain't gonna do that again. Nah, I'm kidding. That was easy. Fernanda PS2. Fernanda, are you from the Pro Skater Discord? That name's strikingly familiar. per maps. Cool. Where do we go from here, though? What attacks do we have that we have not implemented yet? Okay. Throw the ham out there, I guess that'd be an easy one. I can remember where I saved the ham textures at. Where we at? Okay. 48. Nice. That was replacing light air punch, so it's like crouch punch. Where are the air attacks at? It's medium air punch, so 600. There we go, yeah. 48. 48. 1. 48. Yeah, that's right, so check it. For what reason do you want the one-hit kill move? And yes, there is, but I'll get to that in a second. What's that? Get to this. Alright. Air attack in the bag. Cool, cool. Where do we go from here, though? I have no idea, but... Here, check this. There's your one-hit kill. I think in all versions of MUGEN, the F1 key, that one will always instant kill. And the spacebar heals everyone, so it's kind of a universal deal, I guess. I don't know, whatever. Okay. What are we doing? We are close heavy kick. What is that? Oh, that's... Y'all want to see the boring, mundane tasks that ripping sprites from this game is? I'm pretty efficient at it by now, but it takes a good minute. It's like putting a puzzle together. What's that one? 2. What sprites do I have that I've not implemented into this game yet? I got most of them out of the way by now, but we already did that. I've not done that one yet. Let's see what I can do with this one. Is my voice soothing? Am I like... I noticed I've been whispering a lot during this whole deal, so... Do I got that Randy tier ASMR value going on with my streaming? Anyways, I wasn't paying attention at all where those sprites were, so we're gonna freaking shuffle through this hot mess. Okay, there we go. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Zero. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. And I wasn't counting the zeros, so we need another one for 7. Also, I put them in backwards, so we're going to have to do that all over again. Cool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, cool. Get that one like 30, 20. And then like 4 from here on out. Should have called this an animation stream too. When I'm done with this, I'm gonna like clean this up, like count the frames in the original Clay Fighter to match it up with this one, how many frames there are between each one of these sprites, so I can get a dead-on recreation of the animation here, but that'd be boring for streaming, so let me look at that again. Cool. A little bit too fast, but whatever. Yeah. Sounds like an announcer. Yeah, I guess I do got that boom in my voice, huh? All that bass. That'll make for some good commentary. Anywho, there's your animation. What we need to do after this, though, is add like 50 right here and just have his default standing animation play out while the in-game announcer, "Let's get ready to crumble," goes off. So after that ends, he'll do this taunt right here, but we're gonna skip ahead because that's monotonous. And y'all probably don't know the source material anyways, so you're probably not going to be bugged by it anyways. But where do we go from here? What is this? This is the gun. Surprisingly not. That one. We've not used this one yet, but I do not know how to set up grabs, so, or throws, grabs or throws. I don't think it'd be very amusing to try to pull off on stream, so I ain't messing with that. Other than that, though, and I mean, oh wait. I've actually not done this one yet. That flying fish looking move right here. Don't have that one punched in there yet, so what move was that even? Flying kick, I guess. Yeah. Light air kick. So where is the light air kick? 600? 600 is the light air punch. 640? Medium air kick, 630? Light me. What in the world is that? Okay. How'd this one say? I think the light and the medium kick animation's exactly the same, so I got confused and named them identically, yeah. Alright, so is this light kick or is this medium kick? I don't know. I think it's light kick, so we're gonna go for it. And again, I didn't take note of where the fish sprites were, so we have to go find it again. Gotta go back a ways. Right. 33. There's how many? Okay, so that's it. What's he doing game? He throws it out and then slowly retracts it. So on top of the 3, 2, 1, 0. Thirty-three. 3, 5. Eight. Alright. Cool. Let's see if that was light or medium. Yeah, we reanimating this thing. And that was indeed the light kick. Cool. Oh. Alright, this is peculiar. Huh. Alright, so what's happening here is that the fish kick move right here, it corresponds to your light midair kick in every direction when you're throwing it out, going straight up, going left, or going right. But it also corresponds to your medium midair kick, but only when you're going straight up. When you're going left or right, he throws his foot out forward like that, which I don't know how to fix right off the top of my head, so that'll be fun. We ain't messing with that now, though. Anyways, where do we go from here? Aside from that, I don't think there's any more sprites left for me to snag from the game, or snag from my long list of sprites. So, we gotta go get some more. How we get more isn't that fun, but whatever. Yeah, all except for this boy right here, because I don't know how to do grabs, but I already said that, so. Boxing gloves. $47. We do need to get another piece of the boxing animation puzzle right here, because see, he's forming into a boxing glove, but there's a chunk of that I'm missing from the actual game, so we're gonna get that right now, hopefully, provided they reuse the boxing glove sprite. Not that one. Yeah. Got that beam though. Alright. That one's totally different, right? Like, these two right here are identical. It'd probably be easier to figure that out if I was on the left side, but... And the beam doesn't get in my way, okay? So... Yeah. Huh. Alright. Might be 2 frames of animation here. 2 frames of this animation that I'm missing. Because this one, when he's throwing it out, it looks like his expression's a little different. Let's put that to the test though. And by exporting the VRML right there, we get a long list of all the in-game textures, right? Including that of the blob himself. We'd be using Microsoft Paint up here. Where is the boxing glove? Alright. No way, those are totally different. They don't have the same horizontal dimensions. So there's two that I'm missing here. So now we gotta get 2 pieces of the boxing glove puzzle. Cool. When you rip the sprites from the game, they all rip depending on the horizontal size of it. They'll rip in rectangles like this. If the sprite doesn't take up too much horizontal space like this one does, sprites will be like split up into 3 pieces, whereas when it takes up a lot of horizontal space, they'll be split up into like 12 pieces or something like that. And they're all upside down. And you have to piece them together one by one, and that's exactly what I did with every single one of these sprites over the past, 5 days now? I've been at it for a minute. Anyways, take that, put that over there. Actually, I don't even need this here no more, so we can get rid of that boy. Put him there. And then get the last one. The last piece of the boxing glove puzzle. We're about to get it right now. Watch this. Boom. Cool. Stop being slow, please. We don't need you to be slow right now. I haven't courtesy saved this entire stream either. I should probably get to that. Lord knows this machine doesn't like to perform under pressure. Alright. There's no way it's just... Yeah, there's no way it's just 2 pieces. We'd be missing the bottom half right there. Cool. Now we are set. And I'm going to save everything now. Because this thing looks and feels like it's on the verge of crashing. Go away. Okay, cool. We don't have 2 pieces missing no more. The hardest part's over. Maybe not the hardest part, but the most boring part of it. Most tedious. I don't know, this next bit's kind of tedious. It's subjective what the worst of it is. Anyways, I'm ahead of myself. What we do now is take those 2 frames of animation we got, open up another paint, save them as, I already have boxing, box, whatever I saved the other ones as, Shoryuken. Okay, these aren't actually part of the Shoryuken. So just gonna do boxing 1. And boxing 2. Now that's out of the way, we go back to the fighting game shtick, program, the software, whatever. Open up BMP, search for boxing. Don't search for boxing, sort these by name. Boxing box. Boxing 1, boxing 1, boxing 2, there we go. Cool. Apply palette to image. Blob. Alright. You probably have no clue what just went on right there with the palette editor. What this does is converts the sprites that we just ripped into the files that we need to have them in to import into the Fighter Factory software, but also apply this color palette deal to them, so they'll all have a universal color palette. And what good does that do? It lets us change them to red like this and any other colors we feel like. We got toothpaste blobs over here. How do I get back to green? Okay. Time for a meme break. If you guys think you can top my memes, then have at it. Hey, by the way, y'all, like, we got green, red, and toothpaste. What other colors of blob should there be? Because it goes up to 12, and I've gotten, in the source game, there was only 2 color options, so I got some room to be creative here. But I don't feel like it, so I'm going to let you guys do that. What are we doing now? Now that that's cleared up, find our boxing glove. Boy. I don't want to change the 2 because that's going to mess up a whole bunch of other animations, so we'll be like, blob, these 2 blobs. What was it? 47. Not that one. Add the mobs. Group 47. 3. Center bottom. Bada bit, bada zip. Okay. Turn on shared palettes and activate the transparency layer. Hold up for a second. Exiting this chat window, I got a text message. Alright, cool. Dang, we got 4 people on here? Huh. Wasn't even paying attention. I'm nervous now. Not really. What are we doing? Alright. Change that to 3, change that to 4. Now we got our boxing gloves and a robe here. Where was the attack that we needed to change? It's 225, I think. Yeah. 47. Yeah, buddy. 47. 47. And this is boxing glow animation. Turn off. Okay, we already turned that off. Okay. Alright. So it starts off with the 0, I think, yeah. Then the 1. Then the 3. Then the 4. Then the 2. Then the 1. Might have just gone to 0. Seven, 47, 47. That. Okay, so we got the first 2 down. Then we got that one. You know what? I think we missed. We got our 4s and our 3s mixed up here. Yeah, that's looking right. look at that again. Alright. So it goes to the 1 and then to the 0. 47, alright. Three. Two. And this should work in game by now. Let's see what happens. Kinda does. Except he's leveled to the ground. So what you do in this situation is, like, not that, move him right there, and then right there. Move that out of the way from that. Looking a little better. It'd sell it a lot better though if we had the actual hitbox right there. Wait, no. Right there. This one can... How do you delete them? That's how you delete them. You delete that one. Now we're checking it out. Tell your aunt I said hi. I think that one sells it decent. Not one-to-one with the game, but it sure looks like a threatening boxing gloves hitting him in the face. Detaching his head from his skull there. And now that that is out of the way, where do we go from here? I have no idea. Where do we go from here? I mean, I guess we got this thing right here, this iron animation, but I'm getting a phone call. I'm letting them go to voicemail. I don't have voicemail set up. That's 400, 410, medium crouch punch. 420, man. No, not 420, man. 430? No. 450. Alright, that's the one we was looking for here. Heavy crouch kick. 350. $450, I mean. Cool. What do we do with this? I don't know. We take that iron animation from forever ago, wherever it is. Alright, I changed my mind. We're getting there right. 3. Glad I didn't keep going down, otherwise it would have been a minute before we found it. Anyways, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. 0, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 0, 0, 1, 2. Numbers for frickin' days. That's all it is. Three frames of animation apiece. Cool. Thanks. I think it looks good too. Especially this one right here. That's a good looking iron. Whatever he is. The problem with this though is that going back to the source game for a minute. This same exact move sends him sliding across the floor. And you got me if you think I know how to pull that off in this game. Same goes for his medium kick. It lunges him forward a little bit. And I've not got the slightest clue how to pull that off. So for now, it's a stationary attack. Same goes for his frickin' air moves, like they're all one sprite, but they're all rotating like that, which is something you can't pull off in the MUGEN engine that I know of anyways. So that's for another day. How'd I do that? Do the buzzsaw attack. Cool. Where do we go from here, though? Like, there isn't a whole bunch left to this outside of the programming, scripting, command line jargon that it'll take me a minute to get down pat, and yikes. We could give it a shot, but I doubt it'd be any fun watching tutorials on a live stream, so what we do now, fellas? Because I'm tapped. What does all this mean? I don't know. Stream is healthy. See if we can't find any game facts articles on 63 1/3, because I don't know all of Blob's button combinations. Okay. Control found the blob. Doesn't tell you where the buzz. Chainsaw. Back forward punch. Strength of punch determines speed and distance. By chainsaw they mean buzzsaw, I think. Okay, they mean buzzsaw. What are the chances of me figuring out how to do that? Back forward. Okay. The simulator's super laggy, especially with OBS. Running, so it's dropping inputs like a mug here. Back, forward. Do the buzzsaw again, please. Come on. Well, whatever, we are. You get the idea. Anyways. Does the buzzsaw 63 1/3 translate or get activated? Don't crash, please. ASMR. What's there to react to in ASMR? I'm kidding, there's everything to react to in ASMR. I like ASMR too much. I'll give you that much for a reaction. Sarge reacts to Randy, reacts to Lucy, reacts to Person Show YouTube. I'm game. I'm too scared to watch any YouTube videos right now because this thing acts like it wants to blow up. And I'm over here running like a billion games. Give me an easy CPU, please. That's not an easy CPU either. Okay. Or I could just be more resourceful and go to training. It'd be a worthwhile endeavor. I don't have any Pokemons in this one either. Otherwise, I'd show that off. I don't think I have any Pokemons, but... we'll get crusty. Oh, we're gonna get the copyright strike on this place. It doesn't work. How does the... Okay. Clay Fighter moves. Clay Fighter SNES moves. Clay Fighter. Thing's lagging like a mug, man. Can't take all this pressure. We're not using that right now. Let's get rid of that. Anyways. Blah. Clutch down, clutch, clay blade. Back for two punch, okay. Go somewhere else. He doesn't do the... Dang. I'm lost. And I probably didn't do a thing to elaborate. What I'm getting at is... Need another fighter factory and... Yes. What I'm trying to do is open up this other rendition of the same character and hopefully steal some of his moves because they're a little interchangeable. But I don't know how this older rendition of the same character works 100%, so... It is what it is. Where in the world did I even have that save to? There's a frickin' labyrinth up in here, man. All these iterations of everything. Iterations of MUGEN. Does he have the buzzsaw? He does have the buzzsaw. In 500. What command is group 500 attached to? About to find out. 500. There we go. It's attached to group attack group 500. That's nifty. Oh, jeez. Okay. Stay deaf. 500. Come Come on, give it to me. Okay, never mind. No? Won't get anything with 500. He's got, alright. Serena. Finger détente. It's not in English either, so as if trying to interpret what these scripts mean wasn't bad enough. It's in whatever language it is. Show that sexy face. No way. I don't have a webcam anyways. You're just gonna have to. I do have a webcam, I lied, but my hair's not combed, I'm not shaved, I'm not wearing contacts right now. I look hideous. That's why I'm not showing my face. I only got my voice prepped ahead of time for the stream. I didn't actually prep it. It's just always this good. Anyways, what are we doing? So this is the command thing that tells the old Blob how to throw his buzzsaw out. Cool. What does any of this mean? I don't know. It looks like it's broken off into 504, 501, 750. What's 504? There is no 504. What's 501? There is no 501. Of course, 750. I'd be lying if I said I knew what 750 was. These real old ones like to reuse a lot of the same sprites and animations to fill in the cracks, so they always end up looking the same, and it's hard to tell which one you're messing with, because they all look the same. I'm not even sure what this is trying to convey, convoy, whatever. So, we made, okay, we got the 500, we made 0 progress. Does this work? It's not the button combination for no hurricane kick. No, that makes sense. I'm tossing out random button combinations. I can't get it to work. I don't know what to do, man. $1,000 sub. Official face reveal. That'd be a pretty boring 1,000 sub special because I don't hide my face at all, but okay. If it gets you excited. I doing? I don't know what any of this means. We ain't made no progress, none whatsoever. It's all in Spanish. It's an uphill battle, no doubt. Go back to the 500, so we know that the buzzsaw is here at least. What we're going to do with it, I have no idea, because everything's in Spanish. Is there a 504 state dev? There's not a state dev 504. Not a state dev 501. Not a 750. There probably is. No, there isn't. State dev isn't case sensitive either, right? That'd be pretty lame if it was. I do not think it is. Huh. Well. There's all these other state dev. Keep scrolling up, will we find a 500? No. Goes from 601 to 440. Snap, man. Oh, wait. Oh. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Thinking he keeps his special attacks in a separate CNS folder. I think I'm losing faith in that now. We still haven't found the state dev 500. Snap. That case went cold real quick, huh? Very excited. Okay. So, I'm out of ideas what to do. Blob alleys. Tapping in 500 doesn't do none either. Oh, hey. Oh, hey. Okay. For some reason they want to put 2 spaces in between the number and the state def, but we've secured the state def 500 now, thankfully. Sarah. What does Sarah mean? I don't know. Jesus long. Okay. So if we take all this mess right here, copy that, bless you. And copy that and where to save it to? Where do we save the other super moves at? Like, I want to put it next to 1100, something like that, okay. Oh, jeez. Courtesy saving right here, because the game very well can crash after I mess with this junk. Okay. Okay. Call that chainsaw right there. There's not already a 500. Is there? There is a 500. So we're not getting away that easily. So we're gonna make that about, what, 50? Yeah, 50 ain't taken. That's easy to remember. 50, 50, 50. Take all these 500s and make them 50. What did the 501 and the 503 have anything to do with this? There's 50 I have to do. There's not a 50 in this one, so we're not screwing with anything either. Gonna knock out all the 500s? No. Okay. Start coming and they don't stop coming and they don't stop. We might be good now. No promises, but maybe. Oh, this one's animation. Go 4, 4. Okay, so it doesn't need to be 0. Oh. It's 4, 4, 4 then. Okay, we almost potentially got this going. No promises, but and I'd be shocked if I got this working the first try, so I am trying to get this buzzsaw technique into the gameplay here, but it's probably not going to work. Not on our first try. Game crash? Game crash, yeah. Die parsing command 01, okay. That's the name of the move. Find command label 01. Not misspelling. CNS, check CMD. Error pasting true roll, error pasting statement -1, 0, error in state depth -1, error in EWJ.CMD, error loading, it's just error loading player 1. Well, I appreciate it breaks it down for you like this. I still don't know what to do from here though, so. Which one's 01? Everything's in Spanish. I don't know where to go from here. I don't know. I don't know. Huh. Oh well. Sure it was, Randy, sure it was. Where do we go from here, though? Because I'm out of ideas. Like, I could keep messing with this thing until it works, but how long that's gonna take, I have no idea. And I'm not counting on it to be anytime soon, so. I think that alls is wrong with it is it's trying to pull from an animation that doesn't exist. Of course, I'm over here, not even 100% sure how to execute the move. Sure, go get some memes. Do it to it, man. Because I don't think we're going to make any more progress on this blob anytime soon. Cool. Of course, these values could pertain to something that isn't an animation at all. It's this command right here that's setting the game crash off. How do you not make it crash? I have no idea. 4 and 501 do not exist. I don't know. At least I'm pretty sure I can fix this crash without totally tearing everything up. Maybe. Oh hey, we got memes now. Hold on, I'll get to that in a second. No, I'll get to it right now. There's nothing left to do here. I'm going to drain new whole potentially inappropriate messages for review. No. Alright. Let's look at the sauce. Do we turn the volume up? Will that cause an echo? It possibly will. we're doing it. I didn't open up in a new tab either. I should have. Cool. It's just not the same without the ear rate, man. That's what sells these Minecraft parodies. His voice doesn't crack enough either. I don't know, I'm too used to worse Minecraft parodies. I'm too far gone. This one just doesn't. It's not doing it for me, man. Mining away. I don't know what to mine on mines anyway. Oh, what's that one? We gonna find out as soon as this thing decides to load. So many folk decided to tip out for the Minecraft parodies. That's a crying shame. Where are you going, fellas? The party's just getting started. Oh, hey. You don't tempt me, man. I will sit through this entire thing. I will. I'll make you sit through Goof's Fountain, the Magic Railroad. Yeah, no. Goof's finding Thomas and the trucks, all of the mistakes. Cool. Dang. They mess up a lot, don't they? Okay. Dude's got a whole channel going on dedicated to nitpicking every little flub that whoever these guys make that these cartoons are. Dang. That's gotta hurt their feelings a little bit. Alright. Cool. Herblesheimers. Reminds me of the beginning of Encino Man, except with earthquakes and not trains. I'm not broadcasting my mic only, I just turned it way down.
And here comes the next goof. When the boy passes by his house, the sidewalk no longer has footprints or that big slide mark. It's certainly not snowing hard enough to cover it up that quick. I can't believe they never noticed this. So anyway, as the boy gets into the passenger car, he discovers that many other kids are going on the journey.
Turned it down so you'd be able to hear me instead of the whatever you call it, the MUGEN.
Well, do ya?
The know-it-all boy explains what type of train they're riding.
Actually, it's a Baldwin 284 S3 class Berkshire-type steam locomotive, built in 1931 at the Baldwin Locomotive Works.
The know-it-all says the locomotive was built by the Baldwin
Word.
Locomotive Works, but it was actually built by the Lima Locomotive Works. He also messed up on the years. He says it was built in 1931, but it was actually built in 1941. Nice try.
Hi guys, welcome to Rad Rat Video.
So along the journey, the train passes Herblesheimers. Now, as I said before, Herblesheimers existed in real life. You see, Herblesheimers was located in Grand Rapids, Michigan, the same city where the author of the Polar Express was born. And if you're wondering why these kids were so excited, just take a look at what was inside this store. They had a huge selection of toys, and they even had a monorail that went around the store.
Wow, look at all those presents. I want all of them.
At what point did they pass a window with all these presents? They're going nice and slow, and I don't see those presents in any of the windows.
Tickets, please.
So the conductor comes around for tickets, and the boy magically pulls a ticket out of his pocket. And this is where I spotted another goof. The conductor punches a whole bunch of holes in the ticket. And when he gives the ticket back to the boy, we can count that 32 punches were made. But the problem is, if you start counting the punches, the number exceeds 32 pretty quickly. The Polar Express's next stop is at Billy's house, 11344 Edbrook Avenue.
11344 Edbrook.
What many people don't know is that this address was the childhood home of Robert Zemeckis, the director of the film. The conductor gets off the train
Robert
to ask Billy if
Zemeckis.
he'd like to ride, but he declines the offer and starts to back up. But just like the hero boy, Billy has second thoughts and decides to get on the train. But wait a minute, where are the conductor's
Are you
footprints?
streaming on
In the
another
previous
site
scene,
or
we saw the conductor
something?
step in the snow, so why are there no footprints?
I ain't streaming nowhere else. I'm just on just on YouTube, man.
And he falls flat on his face. The hero boy then decides to pull the emergency brake.
What does that
to stop the
matter?
train. This allows Billy to get on the train, but for some odd reason, he goes in the car with nobody in it.
Real question now, when are we gonna watch the Polar Express? All of us hop
The
on
conductor is furious with the boy, but once he finds
Rap.it
out he's
or
to help
whatever
Billy get
and
on the train, he decides to let it go.
Now everybody.
beat the movie in full.
The kids are then served hot chocolate.
Ooh, we got it. Hey, we got it. Hey, we got it.
Out of all the scenes in the movie, this is definitely one of the most memorable. But while everybody's drinking their hot chocolate, the hero girl saves one for Billy. And here's where I spotted another mistake. When the girl goes to take the hot chocolate to Billy, we can see there's nothing on the seat. But after she's left the car, the boy sees a ticket on the seat.
She forgot her ticket.
So now the boy wants to return the ticket to the girl. But I have a question. How did the conductor and the girl get over so easily? I mean, can you imagine how dangerous it would be walking across those icy couplers? One slip and you're done for. To make matters worse, the boy loses the ticket and it starts flapping in the wind. Now, what you may not know is that when the ticket finally comes to a rest, the scene with the wolves going by is based off of the book. They even put them in the same positions. Kind of neat. But there is a problem with this scene. Remember when I pointed out the train had 5 cars? Well, let's try counting this time. The train now has nearly 4 times as many cars. So anyway, the pack of wolves run by the ticket and it goes floating back into the air, where it is then grabbed by a bald eagle, fed to an eaglet, spit out by an eaglet, hit by a train, and then somehow manages to get sucked right back up in the car
I said, probably just getting started after I noticed
the girl for her ticket. She of course
a dip in the view count after the MC gang.
There's no ticket visible on the vent. The boy then tells the conductor that he lost the girl's ticket, and he even offers his ticket to the girl.
These tickets
are not transferable.
So then, the most confusing thing ever in a movie happens. The girl doesn't have a ticket, so what is the most logical thing to do?
He's gonna throw her off the train.
Well, it certainly looks like that. She's being taken to the back of the train. But then the boy finds the ticket in the vent, and he rushes it to the girl. But when he gets to the back of the train, there's nobody there.
What happened to them? Please, she's in big trouble. You have to help me.
And then we discover they're on the roof. Wait. The roof? Why would they be on the roof? And how is it possible that silhouette is being cast? I mean, the conductor's lantern is right beside him. There's no way it would cast a shadow like that. So now the boy is freaking out and he decides to go chase them. Oh look, we're back to 5 cars again.
Hey! I found your ticket!
The boy is unable to catch up to the conductor and girl, but he does run into a mysterious hobo. Little known fact, this instrument is called a hurdy-gurdy. I'm not making that up.
Is this something I can do for you?
The boy tells the hobo he's looking for the girl.
This is an official, authentic, genuine ticket to ride.
Where are you going?
Offers the boy a drink, but then he starts to act a little
You
crazy.
can't dip out now, you got
You don't want to be bamboozled.
Goose Found the Polar Express to sit through. If I'm enjoying this, you gotta be here too.
Like the hobo.
Where are you going? Your
It
place
actually
still
refers to a
full.
life of ease and pleasure. What he probably meant to say was, you don't want to be led down the garden path, which does mean to be deceived.
You don't want to be caught or duped. Have the wool pulled over your eyes. Hoodwinked. You don't want to be taken for a ride. Railroaded.
The hobo agrees to help the boy find the girl, but the boy struggles to keep up with the hobo. At this point, the boy is starting to panic, and he thinks he might be dreaming.
Wake up!
But fortunately, the hobo comes back to help the boy. He climbs onto the hobo's shoulders and they start trekking up to the front of the train.
So many questions.
And here's where I spotted another big mistake. When the train goes up the hill and they start to slide back on the car, the footprints that were made are now gone. So they just barely managed to stay on the train.
Get back on, kid, hurry!
The hobo pulls the boy back up with the ski pole, and they head for the locomotive. But here comes another mistake. In this shot, we can see they're 2 cars away from the locomotive. This means they only have to jump 3 more times. Alright, so now we just have 1 more jump. Wait a second, you already went over 2 passenger cars. Can someone please explain how this train keeps gaining and losing cars?
It's a magic train.
So they only have 1 more jump to get to the locomotive. But as soon as they jump, the hobo disappears.
Ooh, we got it!
No, actually, the boy survives the jump and he finds himself in the locomotive. But here's the goof. Why is there no coal dust on his outfit? He was completely buried in that coal. And yet there's no marks on his outfit? Even a smudge on his face would be more believable.
You? I thought you got promoted. You're driving.
Fine, be like that
Okay,
then.
let's process this. If a passenger loses their ticket, they're to walk to the very back of the train, climb onto the roof in frigid cold conditions,
Randy over here being all sassy like
and
that.
then instructed to drive the locomotive.
It's standard procedure.
How dumb is this conductor?
Shoot.
Now some 10-year-old girl is driving a steam locomotive, while the real driver and fireman are fixing the headlight. Wow, this guy must have a really strong beard. So the headlight gets fixed, but then they see something in the distance. The boy applies the brakes, and the train comes to a screeching halt.
Caribou!
And here comes some more goofs. When the fireman starts screaming because his beard's being pulled by the boy, the sound coming from the caribou is actually from an elk. So somehow the screaming fireman manages to get the caribou off the tracks.
Problem solved. All ahead, slow!
The instruction given by the conductor applies to ships with multiple engines.
All ahead, slow!
But it doesn't apply to a train pulled by one single locomotive. So just when you think everything's back to normal, no, something else has to go wrong. The locomotive's throttle is broken, and the driver can't get it to work.
Tell the engineer to slow.
Wait a minute, why are you guys still in the front of the train? Did you guys just plan to stay there the whole way? Something is seriously wrong with this conductor. Now this next goof is gonna forever change the way you watch the Polar Express. When the cotter pin comes loose, we can see it bouncing around the cab. And look what's in the background, a working flux capacitor. Now for those of you who don't know, the flux capacitor is what makes time travel possible. It was invented by Dr. Emmett Brown in the movie Back to the Future.
This is what makes time travel possible.
So the question is, why is there one on the Polar Express? Could this mean the Polar Express is a time machine? So the driver and fireman lose the pin, and now the train is going way too fast. But here comes the next goof. If you look at this sign, you'll notice that it says 179-degree grade. But if this is a vertical drop, it should say something like 89 degrees.
Is everything all right? What should we do?
Oh, like that rope belt is gonna actually protect you guys. Good thinking, Mr. Conductor.
Hold on. Tightly!
So now the Polar Express has turned into a roller coaster ride. But when they finally make it to the bottom, they discover the ice has frozen over the tracks. Oh, so a steam locomotive that weighs over 800,000 pounds doesn't crack the ice. But yet, a tiny cotter pin causes all of this. Fortunately, the fireman's hairpin fits into the throttle, allowing the Polar Express to come to a stop. But as soon as it stops moving, the ice starts to crack.
Get us the blazes out of here!
Somehow, the driver backs up the train and gets it to move in the opposite direction.
Right!
And incredibly, they're able to make it back onto the track. You know, this is completely unrelated, but have you ever noticed that the Polar Express theme music sounds very similar to the music in Elf? Both these movies came out around the same time, Elf in 2003 and the Polar Express in 2004. Kind of interesting they sound so similar. So the Polar Express continues heading to the North Pole, and the girl finally gets her ticket punched. And here comes one of the worst goofs in the whole movie. As the Polar
Let me
Express
see over here.
take a closer look at the train. The cars
Stick it
are
around,
rolling
that's what's
around the
up.
mountain. And it gets even worse when they get towards the top. Just look at how much those cars are bending. And look how bad the locomotive
I ain't actually ticked about nothing, by the way. I was just giving him a hard time.
So finally, the conductor boy and girl head back to their
You
passenger.
can go if
They
you
start
want.
heading towards the back
I'm
of the
paying
train,
in
but
on
something's
mine.
not quite right about this scene. As you can see, there is not a single light on in this car. But yet, in the previous scene, we could see that it was well lit.
You are just like me, my friend. A Scrooge!
I'm just now noticing how creepy these marionettes are. I mean, what is this, a monkey? And is that the clown from It? I can totally understand why these toys were abandoned.
Ebony! Scrooge, North Pole, Santa Claus.
Seriously, kid, you might want to watch out for that clown. I think he's gonna bite you at any moment. So it turns out this is only the hobo scaring the boy.
You're a doubter! A doubter you don't believe!
So the boy rushes out of the car to get into the next car. And then this happens.
Hey, you missed it. We rode down some really sharp hills, and then we were on what looked like a frozen lake.
The boy has somehow transported to the second to last passenger car, which means he went from here to here. The only explanation would be some of the passenger cars just randomly disappeared. So the boy meets up with the girl and Billy, and they sing a Christmas song together.
When Christmas comes to town,
The northern lights then appear in the sky, and the conductor tells them they've reached the North Pole.
There is the North Pole.
So as the Polar Express enters the North Pole, we hear another song. Now look how many passenger cars there are.
There should be elves. Where are the elves?
I just want to point out this statue of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. We'll talk about it a little later. The conductor tells the kids that one of them will be chosen to receive the first gift of Christmas.
He will choose one of you.
Look! Elves!
Okay, here comes a goof I bet none of you have ever seen before. As we zoom out of the passenger car to see the elves marching, there's an elf that isn't moving his legs or arms, but yet he's still moving with the other elves. It's like he's Gumby or something. So everyone gets off the...
Should have had him in a T-pose.
Hey, what gives? It was 5 minutes till midnight 4 minutes ago.
Exactly.
Exact
Don't you ever question how this train runs again.
columns of 2.
And here comes another goof. Notice how there's no other children in the background. The scene cuts to Billy, and then when it goes back, there's children in the background. And you can also see more of the building in the background. So the girl and boy don't feel right leaving Billy behind. They try to convince him to get off the train, but he refuses.
Christmas just doesn't work out for me.
So because Billy wouldn't just get off the train like every other normal kid, they find themselves stuck on a runaway car.
Gonna be okay. Baby, no!
Alright, roller coaster part 2. So the boy is trying to find the brake.
Take a break, kid! How about a nice good hot cup of joe?
It was at that moment, the hobo knew he messed up. So the boy manages to apply the brakes. And here comes the next goof. When the car strikes the buffer, the kids are flung backwards. But because of inertia, the kids should have been flung forward. So now the kids are stuck on a turntable, and they don't know where to go. That is until the hero girl hears a sleigh bell.
It's coming from that tunnel.
So now, they have to walk across this sketchy set of tracks. I don't care how much money you'd pay me. I would never do something like this. Miraculously, they make it past the tracks. But now they have to find their way back to the ceremony.
Grand Rapids, Michigan. That's my town.
So now we can officially say the boy is from
Grand Rapids,
Grand Rapids.
Michigan.
Once the elves are finished with their work, they head to the ceremony. The kids decide to follow them.
Sound
When
like
they get out, they discover they're in the wrapping room.
Nancy
So they
Cartwright,
follow the
maybe.
arrows to see where it leads.
It's going to my town. There's someone named Billy. My name is Billy.
My name is Jeff.
It's going to 11344 Edbrook Avenue. That's my address.
So Billy decides to go chase after his present. So the girl and boy have to go chase him. So when they make it to the bottom of the slide, they find themselves in Santa's bag. But it isn't long until they're in trouble again. And here's another mistake. In this scene, we can see that the bag is going to close over top of their heads. But in the next scene, the kids are at the very top of the bag. So the bag of presents is being delivered to the ceremony, and the kids think they're finally going to make it. But then they find out the know-it-all boy was following them.
What are you doing here? Same as you. I'm checking out my Christmas presents.
Whoa.
So when the elves try to lower the blimp, they lower it too much, and it knocks the Christmas star off the tree. And here's another
Guess not.
mistake. When the elves bungee jump to save the star, they fall faster than the star. This is impossible because everything falls at the same rate of speed. Incredibly, the elves save the star.
All right, you stowaway. Party's over.
The elves help the kids get out of the bag, and then the ceremony begins. When the elves bring out the sleigh bells, they ring them for everyone to hear. But the boy can't hear the bells.
Aren't those bells the most beautiful sound?
Then came the moment everyone was waiting for. Santa Claus's arrival. Then, one of the sleigh bells comes loose and lands right in front of the boy.
I believe.
Finally, the boy hears the bell, and Santa Claus approaches him.
Let's have this young fellow right here.
The boy is chosen to receive the first gift of Christmas.
What would you like for Christmas?
Now, if you listen very closely, you can actually hear the boy saying, "I'd like the one bell off the reindeer." I'll turn it up extra loud so you can hear it. Santa agrees to give him the present and declares the bell the first gift of Christmas.
The first gift of Christmas!
Now here's something that bothers me a little bit. When the boy puts the bell in his pocket, we know that it falls through and goes into the sleigh. But how did Santa and the conductor not notice this? They're looking right where the bell would have fallen. So Santa then gets ready to leave the North Pole. But remember the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer statue? Why is Rudolph not helping to pull the sleigh? Who's to say they're not going to run into a snowstorm on the way? Once Santa has officially left the North Pole, the elves have a celebration. The electric guitars are not plugged in. The elves bring back the last car, and the conductor punches the tickets one last time.
It says...
Nope. It's nothing I need to know.
So when the boy gets back onto the train, he puts the ticket in his pocket, and then it mysteriously disappears. The kids all wanted to see the boy's bell, but when he went to check his pocket, he discovered that he had lost the bell.
We'll find it.
Yeah, we'll help you. All of us.
But it was too late. The train was already heading back home. And now the train has 5 cars again. So the Polar Express heads back home, and Billy says goodbye to the boy and girl.
Thanks for stopping the train for me. Have a wonderful Christmas.
When Billy arrives at his house, he runs in to see if Santa came. And then they reach the Hero Boy's house.
You seriously underestimated the amount of goofs this movie has, Randy.
See ya.
And then he gets off the train.
Thank you.
No, thank you. One thing about trains. It doesn't matter where they're going. What matters is deciding to get on.
I love how this scene looks just like the illustration from the book.
What?
The Polar Express then heads off, and the boy sees the hobo one last time. As the boy heads to bed, he sees there's no presents under the tree, which means that Santa has not come yet.
Wake up! Santa's been here! Santa's been here!
So the next morning, it's Christmas Day, and Santa Claus left presents. But then the boy's sister discovers there's one present left.
Has your name on it?
That looks like one of those creepy puppets from the abandoned toy car. So the boy unwraps the box, and inside was the sleigh bell he left behind.
Found this on the seat of my sleigh. Better fix that hole in your pocket. Mr. C.
It's at this point the boy realizes he wasn't dreaming. And before the end of the movie, there's one more goof. I can't believe I didn't notice it sooner. When the boy's parents ring the bell, they don't grab it by the tassels. They just wrap their hands around it.
Broken.
Well, of course it's not gonna ring. You're holding it with your entire hand. If they would just hold it by the tassels, they would hear it ring. But now that I think about it, the boy holds the bell wrong too. Well, I guess the only explanation is it truly is a magic bell.
At one time, most of my friends could hear the bell. But as years passed,
This is a plot hole in every single Christmas movie I've seen, like,
that you could no longer hear its sweet sound,
presents will ominously appear underneath the Christmas tree, right?
as it does for all.
But their parents
For a split
can't
second,
take a
you
hint.
see Santa Claus's face.
Like,
That was
how do they think they got there?
Well, there you
I
have
don't get it.
These were all the goofs and things that I noticed in the Polar Express. It was a lot of fun to make this
Never
video.
tells it from there.
Thanks so much for watching, and I want to wish you all a Merry
Point of
Christmas.
view. But hey, we blew through that whole thing again. I'll be honest, I think this is my 3rd time sitting through it in its entirety. Look at how that view cam just took a dip right around the MC gang. That's fine. Two hours, 23 minutes. Cool. I got time to kill, guys. What do we do next? I can go back to this mess. I don't want to go back to this mess. I'll be honest. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to look more into how to add more command lines to this thing, because there's no way it's just as simple as dragging the scripts in there and attaching it to an animation. As is with everything else with this, there's always pieces of the puzzle that gotta be missing. Two country rap song. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not optimistic about no country rap reactions. If it's country and rap, do you call it crap? That's my take on it. That's as much of the reaction I'm putting out there. Unless you send me a link to some, I'll click on it, but I really don't want to. How to access character command list. Change moves and commands from 2017. Cool. Got some hype music going on with this. Got some King of Fighters, I think that was. Never mind. Sarge watches tutorials written in a freaking notepad. Yeah, no. In 2017, man. You'd think they know how to put something together in Windows Movie Maker at least, right? I mean, here we are talking about command lines and scripts and whatever, and they don't know how to use a video editing software. That's a little bizarre, don't you think? Got that Albert Einstein syndrome in full effect or something. Quality on this isn't even too hot either, it's hard to read. What it do, man? What it do? Hope you guys are getting anything out of this, because I sure ain't. I don't know. What are you guys up to? Tell me something. That countdown stopped at 29 and not 0. That ain't even right. Sounds cozy. Probably nice out in Arkansas, huh? Control plus D button. Oh, hey. I didn't know you could do that.
Ladies and gentlemen, here are the combatants for this extravaganza. The Blob versus the Blob.
That's helpful. Wish I knew about that earlier. Nice. It's about the same out here. At least I think it is. I ain't been outside since before I started streaming, so. I mean, for a one-take tutorial, that wasn't too disjointed, but oh well. I'll dissect the thing later. You guys still into this, or you want me to sign off now? We can do whatever, but you don't have to provide me with some substance, cause I'm running on fumes over here. Well, I know, yeah. But what do we do now that we're here? That's the question. We're gonna look at eBay listings. I'm gonna buy one of these things right here. Y'all ever seen these before? They're pretty swanky. Overdrive 64. Get the V3. I want the V3. A while. Your hair's something of a substance. Yeah, I know. It's kind of cool, I guess. They used to have Everdrive V3s on here for 175, but now that I've got the scratch for it, they're all long gone now. We only got the 197 Everdrive 64. I don't want to spend 197. But I kind of need to get one soon, so I'm in a predicament here. Oh well. Let's go to the home page. See what we can't found. Recently viewed items. Do I want to look at my recently viewed items? Do I want to look at my watched items? There's some Japanese PlayStation 2 games right there. I've followed those last year. Proving Ground, BlazBlue, Everdrive 64. BlazBlue, BlazBlue, however you say it, I don't know. Tarragon, if you're here, you wanna comment on it? You better be here. I asked you like 5 times to show up. It's cool though, I'm just sassing. What else is there to look at? Dark Rulers, MUGEN, YouTube. Everything wants to move so slow though. Do I even want to be on YouTube? Don't want to be on YouTube. Ah well.
Hello, this is a game called On the Ball for the Super Nintendo. It was published by Taito. Your goal is to guide a ball through a series of rotating courses toward a finish line while avoiding a series of obstacles. This sounds very similar to Marble Madness, but On the Ball is much better for a few reasons. On the Ball doesn't have an isometric perspective, and the field moves around the ball. Aside from a jump button used mostly to break blocks, you don't actually have direct control of the ball. It's very similar to Super Monkey Ball, which was created a full decade after On the Ball. I've said ball too many times already. A game like this would be easy to make completely devoid of personality and imagination. There are no monkeys here, not even characters, but On the Ball tries its best without all that. I'm not sure what kind of tone or mood it's trying to create. Everything that has nothing to do with the nuts and bolts of the game itself seems like it came from the developers asking their kids to improvise stories and ideas. Images are shown at the end of every stage as a reward, and I have no idea what any of them mean. Yet to be seen, try it. As the ball looks at a spooky tree at night. The job in this field is completed, as Ball sleeps at his emasculating corporate job. It's not over yet, says Game, as Ball gets electrocuted by its gay robot boss for thinking hate thoughts. Oi bruv, do you have your thought license? You still have a long way to go. Who is this guy? Don't be relieved, but I have to go. Yet to be seen, try it. A space buffalo? Oh, it's a pretty lady. Booby lady. No, Ball is getting abducted. No, Ball has been turned over to the devil. The level names are their own kind of strange. Names like Menthol Moon, Spacewalker, with a level background lifted from a troubled teen call-in show on public access television. December Cellar, Heart of Diamond, Wood, Ancient Battleship, China Garden, which sounds like a restaurant, In the Camel, Dolphin Passage, Celestial Patio. I found the name for my next Vaporwave album. Some levels have nation in their names like Italy GP, Hungary GP, Japan GP, and a few others. On the Ball's universe seems to have some kind of international competition associated with rotating obstacle courses, but none of the stage backgrounds reflect these cultures. The game setting is an enigma. The game over screen has this mystical looking lady with a crystal ball. There's a little lady on a chalkboard that ducks her head in shame when you skip the instructions. I have no idea what's happening, but I like it. Questions and mysteries are usually more interesting than answers, and On the Ball is a mysterious game that caused me to ask many questions. The course backgrounds rarely have anything to do with their level's namesakes. Their quality and artistic direction has a broad variation as well. Some levels have a simple brick pattern background, while others have this polygonal thing happening. There's a wide discrepancy in quality when it comes to the backgrounds. It's like this game is a patchwork of assets used from other Taito games that never saw release. I wouldn't like it as much if not for all its quirks, but On the Ball is really good separate from its character. It has 4 planes, each with 4 series of levels, with a varying amount of courses in each. Every successful completion of the course gives you a time bonus that adds on to your time remaining. On the Ball's main challenge is avoiding time traps. Certain obstacles give you a time penalty ranging from 2 to 5 seconds if they are engaged. Other obstacles can impede your movement without a direct time penalty by draining the clock in real time. On the Ball's most annoying obstacles are found in breakable blocks. They're easy to break if you have enough momentum, but layers of 2 or more are harder to overcome, though this is mitigated via time bonuses contained in some blocks. The game doesn't take too many liberties with its physics. Most contact with any part of the course surroundings will slow your momentum. Again, there is a jump button, and it's assigned to the same button that increases the ball's velocity. Unless you're on a clear, uninterrupted path, your ball wants to jump off of any solid object near it. This decreases your velocity velocity considerably, and you will inadvertently jump when you want to go faster through a level. That's my only complaint about On the Ball's control setup. You can rotate the stage using the D-pad and shoulder buttons on the Super Nintendo controller. You also have a third option with the A and Y buttons, but either of those buttons could have been put to better use by separating the jump and velocity commands. It's no big deal because we can all eat Hostess Jumbo Donuts together and elevate our breakfast game. On the Ball's length is another potential sore spot. I completed every stage in a few hours without having any of them committed to memory. This was one of my favorite games to play on Super Nintendo emulators when I was younger, but it had been a long time since I last tried it. You might see the end in 4 hours, but I think the average player can beat it in 5. That's about how long it took me to accomplish that. Except for 1 or 2 levels that needed it, I was able to beat the game in this brief duration without speeding up the ball. But I don't think this is a game that needs to be longer than it is. Repetition in On the Ball is a reward. You can attempt to beat your high scores and best times without much of a time investment. Games that track scores and times find that addictive quality if you can achieve personal bests within a short duration. On its own merits, there is no reason why On the Ball shouldn't be viewed with more reverence. Nintendo's marketing machine keeps its own mascots in the public eye, and that creates more of a demand for reliving that particular part of the past. I don't fall for this as much. I like to experience different, less esteemed, and more overlooked aspects of the past. On the Ball is not likely anyone's favorite game of all time, but it might be my favorite Super Nintendo game. Its design choices are easy to understand, it's occasionally challenging to a degree of frustration, but those occasions happen rarely. It captures that easy to learn, difficult to master feeling perfectly. I give On the Ball an obvious recommendation, but do I recommend it above the version on Taito Legends 2? On the Ball started off as an arcade game called Camel Try, and it's included in this compilation. Taito Legends 2 is worth the purchase all for the other great arcade ports on it, even if it was PlayStation 2 exclusive in North America. The Xbox received a version, but it was only released in Europe, and that's not right. Anyway, the short answer is that On the Ball does more than enough to warrant its own purchase, but there are noticeable differences that are worth discussing. Camel Try only has a total of 4 stages, so the Super Nintendo port gets a lot of credit for expanding the game fourfold. On the Ball is 3 years older, but it doesn't look as good as its arcade forebear because of the inferior hardware. Camel Try also benefits from superior ball physics. On the Ball's ball feels more hollow. It does not plow through breakable objects with the amount of efficiency as the one in Camel Try. On the Ball does allow you to increase the rate of travel, while Camel Try's range of speed is narrow. Range of vision is another point in Camel Try's favor. The camera is zoomed out a lot further when compared to On the Ball. This was never an issue for me in the first place, but seeing more of the levels would make it easier to plan out movements in advance. Camel Try offers bonus characters, and they're really funny to watch fall helplessly through the mazes. None of them are balls except for one, and it happens to be the only character with its own special ability as far as I can tell. The ball is called Black Steel, and it moves faster through the level than any of the others should it get enough uninterrupted momentum. I don't really like using this one. The levels are harder to navigate with it because you can't really control its speed. Camel Try does a lot of things that On the Ball could have mirrored to make for a more perfect game, but they don't add up to a huge difference. On the Ball is more sequel than remake, and it definitely would have completely felt like one if the game didn't begin with Camel Try's 4 original stages. The Super Nintendo release earns a lot of points for trying things within its setting that were not implemented in Camel Try. After the first set of courses, On the Ball introduces 2 new concepts. One is a limited range of motion, so you can't advance the tilt beyond a certain angle. The other reverses the gravity. Balls fall up instead of down. I like the gravity reversal courses for the novelty. The limited angle courses presented a bigger challenge that I did not like at first, but I changed my mind before long. On the Ball is really good, and since I'm a lazy writer, I'm going to end this review with an inappropriate quip instead of writing a real ending.
I'm more keen towards the monkey ball myself rather than Marble Madness. But yeah, I see what you was getting at. And no, I'm not looking at retro consoles on eBay. I mean, I am looking at retro consoles on eBay, but I do more selling on eBay than I do buying. Balls LMAO. You were right in the ball with this view. On the ball. More like on the staff anti-infection cream and Truvada. Thanks for the great upload on a dark day again, friend. Cool. Anyways, it is what it is. How long have we been going at this for, 3 hours? Cool. Think I want to put this down for a minute. We ain't doing a whole bunch. That's alright though. Unless you guys got something else you want to do. Cause you guys don't leave no nothing, man. I don't know. I'm peacing out. I don't want to do this no more. I'll be honest. I mean, it's fun, but out of ideas. I wonder how delayed this is anyways. Like, nobody's texting me right now. I know y'all's are here, but oh well. Alright, cool. Gotta go to the store. It's a convenient time to leave for everybody. Guess I'll be seeing you folks on the flip side or something. Maybe. I don't know. On Discord and all that. Alright, cool. I just wanted to get you guys' approval of my stoppage of stream. Make sure everybody was all tapped out. Didn't want to blue ball nobody. I'll be seeing you folks later. Bye bye.